Hello and welcome to the 15th part of the LEGO Powered Up tutorial that you can use for Powered Up, Boost and Control Plus. Last part we didn't take a look at how to add borders or how to add maximum values to the program, to the light program, but we will do that this part. We still have the same setup as in the previous part where we looked at the light problem, not in the last part. So let's get started. Keep in mind what we did in the last part for this program. We had a variable that stored the light of the LEDs. Then we added 15, 0 or minus 15 to the variable, wrote that value to the variable, and so we changed the light and had a flickering effect. But the problem was that sooner or later the value got above 100 or below 0, so that it wouldn't change anymore, and it would stop at the maximum value or at the minimum value, and it wouldn't change the light anymore, because the light can't have a value below 0. It will always be turned off if it is below 0, and it can't have a value above 100, because then it will always be with the maximum light 100. And in this part we will add borders. So we have blocks to read the value in the variable, and we basically want to check if it's above 100 or below 0. And maybe you see something to do that. Maybe you had something to do that in the school. We have these blocks. We have a less than block and a greater than block or above block. So we can check if the variable is below a value or if it's above a value. And then we have an output that is wrong, or we could change this to 1. Currently this variable is 0, so the variable is below 0 or below 1, and then the output will be true. We don't have a number, a numeric value, we don't have a round edge, but we have a logical value, and that has an actual edge. So that's something new. And now we want to do something with the variable. We want to make sure that it doesn't get above 100 or below 0 if this value is true. And for that, we can make conditions, or we can ask, or we can decide if the logic input is true or not. And then we can do either one thing or the other thing. And the block to do that is this one. It's basically a bit like a question. So we can ask the program, is this true? And if this is true, then it will do the thing above. And if it's not true, then it will do the thing below. We can do that for both values. So we can add both borders. We want to check if the value is less than 10. And then it will do the stuff above. So we can do something against that the value is below 10. Otherwise we will do nothing. Or if it's above 90, then we can react to that here, or otherwise we can do nothing or do something else. And we want to make sure that the value is not below 10. And if it's below 10, we will want it to be above 10. And to do that, we can write a value to the variable. Let's say that we write 20 to the variable. And of course, we can also write 80 to the variable if it's above 90. That way it won't get below 10 or above 90, because if it's 90, then it will stay 90, but if it's above 90, it will get changed to 80. And it will already flicker because we have a jump of 10 between 90 and 80. We could also use this block and check if the variable is equal to 10 or equal to 90. Maybe you can think of a good value why we don't use that. The reason is that with the same block is that we only check if the variable is exactly the same as another value. But let's say that we check if it's 90, but it jumps to 95 for some reason, then it won't be true, although the variable will get above 90. So we just check way more values at once when we use this greater or below block. But there are situations where the is equal block is good as well. So let's try it out. I will show you the complete program, and we can look into the variable. We could also copy this logic and implement it for a second value and let the second LED flicker with another color. Or we can let it flicker inverted to the other one. So let's say that this variable is 10, then the other light should be 90. And we can do that by calculating 100 minus the variable and use that as input. So let's check it out. I will make sure that you can see everything that's important. And we can switch to the webcam. I will run the program and I will show you the program. The light still flickers, but it doesn't flicker as much as it did in the last time. It flickers a bit like a secure lamp that has glass in front of the fire, so that the fire is safer. Anyways, that was it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. See you in the next part and bye.